your dream guest? Who, if you know heard on yet, that you would say you probably would want to have a chat with, even if it is just for half an hour now? Who's that guy that stands out to you?
Well, the thing is, as you mentioned earlier on, right, we had Grant Stott, so I don't just want to interview football players and broadcasters, right? So I've actually got I've got numerous answers to do to two different categories of this, right? So basically, if it's footballers and pundits and stuff like that, right, I've got three in mind that I would love to talk to, right? One is Neil Lennon, because obviously, as we spoke about earlier, I'm a huge Celtic fan. So I'd love to speak to Neil Lennon. I'd love to speak to Scott Brown, two Celtic captain, hero, legends of mine. And also Ally McCoist, because just for the guy he is, you know what I mean, he's hilarious. He's so positive and everything into him. I'm sure you agree with that. You know, you could literally sit and watch. You could sit and watch a third division Russian team, you know, a Russian game, and if Ally McCoist is commentating, you're invested, man, because he's invested. You know, he's just so upbeat and he's so enthusiastic about the game and that when he's commentating. And obviously, I'm a big Talk Sport fan as well, so I'll listen to him in the morning with Alan Brazil and Jeff Stelling and Shaban and that. You know, sometimes you sit and think, is it my listening to Radio Clyde here? You know what I mean? Because of all the Scottish people are in the morning, but. Aye, they three from a football point of view, and feel like, you know, I think they would be really, really upbeat and happy and be on the podcast as well, and they'd talk away. Obviously, Henrik Larsson, I'd add into that, right? No sure Henrik would be the most kind of enthusiastic I've been on a podcast, right enough, but who knows? But in the other category, I would love to speak to Kevin Bridges for obvious reasons. He's hilarious and he's a Celtic fan. So, aye, mate, they four, I would love to. Hopefully, one day I'll get them. You know, I was talking to Stephen Dobby after it, because he was like to me, you know, if you need anybody, you know, just give me a shout and that, and I'll try and get somebody on for you. And I went, mate, I'm not going to lie, I'd love Bruni. You know, I'd love him on, and he's like, I'll reach out to him and that, but unfortunately, I've not heard it in over a week now, so I doubt Bruni's up for it, man. He's obviously concentrating on his Air United stuff, but. I had a guess with Fedon already, man. I've been sensational. I'm just going to keep dreaming, man. One of these days I'll get one of the guys that I've mentioned. Although I doubt Kevin Bridges will ever come on. He doesn't really do podcasts, so I've kind of had a wee look at that. He's more kind of on the telly with Jonathan Ross and that, and you don't really see him kicking about. I've never seen him roam goal or anything like that, which you would expect him to be on there if he was going to be on anything. So